Monty, thank you for getting everyone together. My name is Shane McKenna. I am your sales coach and mentor. Monty reached out to me last Friday, 2 Fridays ago, and he said we have a problem. Our sales team is selling too much on price. We're selling too much on low cost. We're not telling the whole Sprint value story. So Monty came to me and said, will you create a workshop in how to tell the whole Sprint portfolio? Help the guys understand what differentiates Sprint from the competition. Help the sales makers not just lead with voice, and together we can have more opportunities. It's a golden opportunity because I think selling and leading with voice is a commodity. It's a race to the bottom. It's not going to get us the large, rich opportunities that we can when we tell the whole Sprint portfolio. It's a very rich opportunity. If you guys are familiar with the Simon Sinek model, it starts with why. We need to start with why and understand why. Once we understand our why do we work at Sprint? Why are we sales makers? Why do you want to be 100% to plan, 150% plan? Why do you want to get to sales quota by 3 weeks? Once you figure out your why, then we can build our how. Last but not least, we learn the what. And there's many options with what. At Sprint, we spend far too much time in the what category, working our way to how, and then the customer's why, and a lot of times we're not on the same page with their why. Customers don't always buy on price. There's a lot of other buying criteria besides price. When we're leading with price and low cost, we're leaving so much on the table. We'll create your why Sprint story. It's important that everyone has a why Sprint story. Mine might be a little bit different than yours, but there are some common threads in there. It's important we all have a why Sprint story. Last but not least, coaching and call to action. We're going to have some fun. Understanding the opportunity. After Monty reached out to me 2 weeks ago, I went to Chris, Brian, Logan, and Emmanuel, and I dug into the opportunity. The issues are, we're leading with voice, with price. We're talking too much about cost. We're trying to cut the customer's bill in half, and we're leaving far too much opportunity on the table. Chris says when you lead with voice, you're leaving revenue, opportunity, and you're not differentiating yourself. You're leaving far too much on the bone. Emmanuel and I agree that if we're leading with price, it's very difficult to forecast 100% until the deal is actually closed. At the very last minute, customers can change their mind. The existing carrier can come in and match our rates. If we lead with price, it's very difficult to forecast. Brian Bailey and I were just talking a couple of days ago on his Monday morning sales call that everyone in his meetings on his team may either have a different why Sprint story or might not even have a why Sprint story. So we talked about doing a role play independent of this where everyone gets up and does a quick 45-second elevator pitch on why Sprint. Last but not least, Logan said 87% of customers don't buy on price. Sure, when you're online and you're on Amazon, you're grocery shopping, we can compare price. But for the people and the business sales model we're in, people buying for people, it's not based on price. Back to the model, we have to understand our why. My why is I like to help people get better every day. It's the same as Marcelo's. I work with kids in foster care. I mentor kids. I enjoy helping you sales makers block and tackle and move the deal forward so we're better today than we were yesterday. My why is I'm helping people better themselves every day. You have to create your why. Once you have your why, you can move to the how and the what. You can't start with your what. Understanding how. Sprint provides many options for customers to get connected. Sprint has a wonderful story to tell. We provide devices to more people in more places. If you're comfortable talking about spectrum, we have more spectrum than T-Mobile and Verizon combined. Spectrum is what's needed to do some of the whys. Spectrum is how we're able to offer all the solutions we offer. If you're comfortable talking about root metrics, we're winning independent third-party reviews, and we're within 1% of Verizon now. We have over 246 wins in the second quarter of 2016 alone. We're providing software as a service. As your company grows, we're able to offer a solution that could grow and expand as the company grows. We're offering as a service model for G Suite, Dialpad, Workplace, Mobility. We're offering services, we're offering devices as a service. The 1 million project, this was near and dear to my heart. Marcelo is committed to providing up to 1 million devices to kids who otherwise don't have internet at home. Those devices will have 3G, 4G connection, and they can bring them home, do their homework, and stay connected. Marcelo is helping people stay connected, do their homework, and communicate locally and globally. Pepper, when I was an engineer, I talked a lot about Pepper, IoT, Redbox, Golden Keys. We have a whole story to tell, and this is exactly how. While we're inside this lane, who drove here versus took public transit this morning? You did? Okay. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a second or a third or a fourth or a fifth extra lane on the highway on top of what we are now? Just selling with price, not telling the whole Sprint story, not selling on value, is just limiting yourself to one clogged up area on the highway. Sure, we're going to win phones, connection cards, tablets, hotspots. We've won deals because we are the cost leader. But there's an exponential amount of bandwidth that we can operate on if we're talking about the entire solution. Dialpad, G Suite, M2M, GPS, dispatching, jobs. Once we figure out the customer's why and their how, we can talk about what. Why, how, what. Once we figure those three things out, we can then better position our devices. Our devices are the what. We spend far too much time in the what category. Last but not least, who would have liked 3 times the highways on the commute into the office this morning? We would have gotten here quicker. We would have had more opportunities, less traffic jam. Telling the whole Sprint's portfolio is like having 3 times the opportunities, 3 times the lane on the highway. Because you're not selling just on voice, on price, you're able to talk about other value and tell the entire Sprint story. Last slide, coaching and call to action. Practice, 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 practice. This PowerPoint, my approach, is different today than it was yesterday. It's different yesterday than it was Friday, going through it with my peer Steve, going through it with Daryl. My presentation today is different and better because I went through it a number of times. I encourage you guys, record yourself over, watch it back. Record yourself over, watch it back. Role play. Get with your peers, who you're comfortable with, explain your why, talk about how, and the what will come. Figure out your why. You have to figure out your why. Understand how. Go to the slide and figure out your how. The what needs to be last. We cannot start with what, go to how, and then why. What has to be last? The devices, the experience, price, value. It has to be last. Last but not least, have fun. This is a picture of us blitzing in an ugly sweater party downtown Chicago, and I will never, ever forget that day. I have been downtown blitzing probably 100 times. We've cold called, we've had success, but they're not as memorable. Us calling customers and talking about only price is not as memorable as us talking about the whole value story of Weiss Print. Telling the whole value story of Weiss Print, differentiating ourselves from other competitors, is like us wearing an ugly sweater to the office. The customer will never forget that. Thank you.